Okay, hey everyone. So this is my trade recap for the 16th of December. So the first trade was taken based off this 1 hour support that formed off this previous 4 hour resistance. So if you look at the 4 hour on the left, it was this previous highs that was created. So when support formed on the 1 hour, I actually took the trade long. Over here, when this next candle flipped bullish, breaking the body after it made a lower wick. So I was anticipating that within the hour before London open, GJ would be able to push to this area, clearing these clean candles on the left. But because it was a bit slower and there was GBP data that was going to be out at 3 p.m. my time, which was 1 hour before London open, I decided to take my profits off once it hit this resistance over here right before news. So the original stop loss was here, but once this 1 hour candle closed bullish, I actually trailed it and pushed it up because of the news to reduce my risk on this trade. So right before the data was out, then I closed the rest of the position. So overall, I made about 6 pips from this trade. Then after that, we see this deep wick being created because the news that came out was actually negative over here. So good to have been safe rather than sorry on this first trade. So on this second entry that I took, since I was already long bias and this wick had rejected and then held this 4 hour resistance, so I just waited for price to close above this previous resistance on the 30 and also this 4 hour zone. Then I waited for price to break above this wick and I entered. So before that, this wick was not created, but we had some unexpected Brexit news from the EU committee that came out, so it pushed price all the way down and hit my stop loss. So I already given some space based on this resistance being made. So I gave it like 1 or 2 pips of buffer below this resistance, as I knew that GJ could also do a retest to continue higher, but unfortunately the news move grabbed a little deeper than I expected and it hit my stop loss. So even if I was to push my stop loss to break even after hitting my first take profit level, which was this 4 hour zone, it wouldn't have made a difference because the news was still on and then would have hit my stop loss at break even either way. So this trade was actually closed out in a loss because the full stop got hit when that news move came down really, really quick. So my last trade was actually taken on the 4 hour after the 4 hour close. So yes, it didn't close above this previous resistance and where I drew up this 4 hour zone, but because I saw that this 3 candle formation formed off this previous 4 hours resistance and now turned support, looking at this tree inside this area here, but unfortunately because this pullback was a little bit deep, it hit my partial stop loss before it continued up higher. So during this push, there was also Boris who was in parliament. So I actually could have managed my stop loss better as I micromanaged the stop loss right after news was released as I was afraid to lose the profits. But when I looked at this news push, since I had already locked my stop loss in profit since it hit my first take profit area of this week highs, I should have just left the stop loss alone in profit as it would never have been hit even though price came down to do a retest, which I've seen previously many times that new support will be formed on a much lower time frame. So I should have given GJ a chance to do that and then finally take some profits at the daily level of 140. So that was how I could have managed this trade better. Right? So 3 trades taken. Overall it was a loss because when I micromanaged these profits, I end up not being able to cover the 50% that I cut off below. So this was a lesson learned and what I could have done better on the trades. So overall, I hope this video has been valuable and informative. And let me know if I can add on anything to the videos or anything that you like to see. Right? Safe trading, guys.